Okay, well, again, this is part three of the McGurk Organization Mysteries books that I'm reviewing and discussing. I actually stopped at a good point because this is around the time when the McGurk books began to, in my opinion, what they call jump the shark. But let's just say, at least, this is when they began to delve into fantasy, and they even call it a McGurk fantasy. There were only two McGurk fantasies, and then they did go back to standard mysteries. They're not bad. I really don't think they're bad. I just think it's kind of out of place in the series. I mean, like, imagine if you have like imagine the Hardy Boys as an example. They're steeped in reality. They've been around for 100 years. The Hardy Boys and Nancy Drew, and they're books about late teens who solve mysteries. And imagine that they just make a book suddenly, and I guess this could happen actually. They do have these crossovers now, but they make a book suddenly where Doctor Who lands his TARDIS in front of the Hardy Boys, and they go out and they fight the Daleks or something. It just seems really like that's not a Hardy Boys book. That's not nothing to do with the Hardy Boys. That's kind of the way this kind of struck me when I read them. Now I was already a teenager by this point, so that might have something to do with it. But honestly, I don't think so. I know myself. I kind of I kind of put things in my mind in categories. So, like, for instance, I'll read a Star Wars book or a Star Trek book or whatever, and then I'll go and I'll read a Jane Austen novel or whatever. No, well, I'm okay. That's more. I'm trying to think of what I read as a kid. Again, like let's say a Star Wars book or something, and then I would read an adventure book or something. I wouldn't expect those two to go together, you know, and it would throw me when that happens. So anyway, going back to this is a So like I said before, Brains invents things, and but before they were always things that were realistic. Like he would make like walkie talkies out of old TVs or whatever, radios or whatever. But now he uses a walkie talkie and he builds a time machine out of the walkie talkies, which completely he's like, wait, what? You know, and they go back in time to medieval times, and this book is about there's not a real dragon. I mean, like, you know, it's not fantasy in that sense, but they go to medieval times, and there are two kids who are around their age, and they're trying to stop these bad people, so they make a dragon, like, and they're inside it, kind of like, imagine the like Chinese dragons and at parades, you know, they're like that. They're inside the dragon, so it's just like a paper mache. Well, not paper mache, but whatever they made it out of, and they're inside it, and they're trying to scare these bad people. I don't remember much about this. Again, I haven't read these in a number of years, and like I said before, these particular books, from Calgary, Alberta. These particular books never really caught my interest because they just seem so out there. This is 1991, so like I said, I was already a teenager. Uh, Here's always a picture of the kids. Let's see here. So let me see what we can find real quick. Oh yeah. So they do make a kind of a coat of arms for each of them, which is kind of cool. Um, yeah, you know, I think that as the stories continue. No, I was gonna say people grew up with these books, and that's probably true because like there aren't as many illustrations as there used to be in the earlier books either. So I don't even see the two kids right now. I'm sure there's a picture as a illustration of them in here somewhere, but they're not. I don't see it. But anyway, that's what that book was about. Now, the next book is also a McGurk fantasy, The Case of the Weeping Witch. Sorry about these are ex-library books. I probably bought them because my particular copies got so bad or whatever. But this also involves time travel. They go back into the Salem witch times, and there's a young girl around their age who's accused of being a witch. Now, again, there's nothing supernatural in the books. It's not fantasy of that nature, so she's not a witch. But, you know, if you know anything of your history, back in that time, there were people accused of being witches and burnt at the stake and killed horribly a lot. So this is something that was a real danger to her. She was worried that she would be executed. And the McGurk organization, they solve the mystery and find out, you know, and prove that she's not really, you know, bad or anything of that nature. Now, I do remember that Hildick liked this character so much that he wrote her he wrote another book, and just that starred the character and didn't have the McGurk organization in it. Hester Bidgood, Investrix of Evil Deeds, and that's her and her good friend. So it takes place in the 1600s again, and she said she solves her own mystery. I've read this too, but I don't remember much about it. Now, after that, we go back to the standard McGurk mysteries, which are not fantasies. And these are I'm showing them in the order that they came out. So I guess Hildick wrote a couple fantasies and decided to go back to mysteries. The Case of the Desperate Drummer. This involves Mari's older brother, who's a drummer, and I forget if, like, there are these bad people after him. I forget why or how, but so the McGurk organization, he hires them to protect him, and they dress him up as an ape for some kind of a show. Oh, that's right. He's supposed to be drumming at a show, and I guess he was threatened that if he drums at the show that they would hurt him. But he still wants to drum there, so he gets in there by disguising himself. It's a long story, and I don't remember a lot of it. Like I said before, these didn't stick with me as much as the ones I read as a child did. The Fantastic Footprints. I'm actually reading again. It's weird how the three investigators in McGurk have these similarities in their series. I'm sure it's coincidental. I don't think that they really copied off each other. But there's a book by in the Three Investigators series called The Flaming Footprints. I get those two confused too. Naturally I don't. I know the Flaming Footprint storyline. I don't remember much of the Fantastic Footprint storyline, honestly, except that they find these huge footprints on wet cement, and they try to figure out how they got there. But I don't remember what happens or anything, honestly. I'm sorry. So now we're at the penultimate book, The Case of the Absent Author. And there's a famous children's author in the book, who was kidnapped, who goes missing, and they have to figure out where he is and what happened. Again, I don't remember much of it. And then the final book, The Case of the Wiggling Wig. And I'm trying to remember, I want to say it was written in 1996. I'm almost sure I'm right about that. I think Hildick died in 2000. Yes, he was born in 1925. Hopefully you can see this. I don't know how well it's coming out here. And the book came out in 1996. And this was the final McGurk organization book. And I'm going to be honest, I remember nothing about it. I read it, I read it when it first came out, when I bought it. That might have been the last time I read it. In 1996, I was already, 21 or so? So, I wanted to complete the collection and revisit the books, the characters that I read as a child, but, it's hard to explain this. I can reread books I read as a child and really enjoy them. Even like something, maybe not See Jane Run, but something a little more advanced than that. I can read and enjoy. I can reread the McGurk books and enjoy them. But the books that came out after I was an adult, children's books, I'll read them and they don't interest me. I guess it's more of the nostalgic that I feel than anything else. So that's probably why, again, these latter books, I really had nothing to say. I'm not even trying to rush it because the video is going long. I don't remember enough to really talk about them. So that's part 3, guys. I'm sorry this video is so short. I hope you enjoyed this little synopsis of the McGurk organization books, though. And I want to ask, what do you want me to do next? I can do either the Bobbsey Twin books or the Three Investigators. Now, I will just mention this. The Bobbsey Twin books are probably not the ones that most people think of. They actually wrote 3 different series of Bobbsey Twin books. The first series lasted from 1904, that's when the first book was written, to 1979. Those were more episodic adventure books. In the 80s, they wrote 2 different series of the Bobbsey Twin books, and they're both mysteries. Those are the ones that I really enjoyed as a kid, the mystery books. So those are the ones I'm going to discuss. Because I don't even have the old book series anymore. I used to have them, but I sold them, got rid of them. But I still have my old mystery series, those last 2 series. Anyway, let me know which one you want me to review next. Thank you for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. Have a nice day. Bye-bye.